It is 10 before the hour. Time now for our Mornings with Metro segment.
And joining us today, Deputy Chief Andy Walsh with Metro's Tourist Safety Division. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
So first, let's talk about officer-involved shootings. There have been at least eight in August alone within Metro's jurisdiction. Let's just talk about what officers try and do to de-escalate scenes involving violence, to try and keep things from escalating to the point of an officer-involved shooting.
Yeah, we even had another one on Monday, and in that case, just like the other 8 previous ones that we've had since August, we're dealing with armed people with weapons, whether they're knives or guns, or sometimes more than one gun. So de-escalation is one of those things that we preach. We've become the national model as an agency for how to de-escalate scenes of violence, but it's very hard. Sometimes people need to remember that while we're trying to de-escalate these situations using things like verbal commands, low lethal options, and we continue to expand what we have for low lethal options, but many times the de-escalation component of this is dictated by the suspect and their unwillingness to listen or drop their weapons or do the things that we're asking them to do before deadly force becomes an option.
Just a real quick follow-up on that. The Metro has worked on less lethal options in the past. I remember getting a demonstration out at the range out in the northeast part of town. Have those been deployed, and are those able to be utilized in the field?
So we use them. They're deployed in the field. We actually now even have 40-millimeter weapons which shoot a less than lethal round that we can use in situations where force is going to be used or deadly force might become an option. We continue to expand the ones that we have, and in some of the instances we've had recently, we have used less lethal options, and they've proved ineffective. And then the suspects, their commitment to being violent and committing violent crimes and being violent towards the officers hasn't wavered even when we've used those less lethal options.
Okay. Deputy Chief Walsh, you oversee the Tourist Safety Division. What kind of crimes are you seeing and try to prevent against tourists?
Well, the ones we try to prevent, obviously, the tourist corridor, the Strip and downtown are vital to our economic infrastructure as a state, and violent crime and just the things that are associated with that, violent robberies and murders and sexual assaults. Those are all the things that we're always working towards preventing. Where we have a lot of struggles still are with the property crimes, the hotel room thefts, the auto thefts. So we have a large amount of resources deployed in that tourist corridor to protect the people that not only live here but those that work here and those that visit. But it's a challenge because of the large number of tourists, and then we have great partnerships with our casino partners as well and the security folks. And then as technology changes and we're able to add more cameras and other things that we can use to protect that vital real estate to our economy. But it's also important, too, we never take our eye off the ball when it comes to Homeland Security threats, and we have a very robust Homeland Security section, and they do everything they can to protect us from something that would be catastrophic for our community.
Another issue we see on the Strip from time to time, Kirsten, we talked about this in the commercial break, jaywalking.
Yeah.
What kind of resources are used to try and keep people, while they're walking around the Strip, safe?
So it's not just on the Strip. I would say we see it on Las Vegas Boulevard and we see it downtown a lot. But, when you look at our fatal accidents that we have as a community, we have over 90 fatal accidents so far this year, and over a third of those involve pedestrians. Over half of the ones where they involve pedestrians, the pedestrian was the person at fault. So, yes, our officers will stop you for jaywalking. And, I get complaints from time to time, I was just jaywalking, but really, realistically, people get killed in our community, and that's forever, and that's why when we do make those stops, if they don't result in a citation, there should still be a conversation about the dangers of staring at your phone and walking out into a busy street, because cars, 2,000, 3,000-pound vehicle moving down the road at 45 miles an hour, if that hits you, you're not going to survive.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate that.
Thank you.
If you have a question for Metro, you can submit it on our website, LasVegasNow.com. Just look for the link on the right side of the page and find out if your question is answered every Wednesday.